hot in here. Do this. Look at my chest. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Let me do prayer first. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is a different type of video. So I will be doing faith related videos. I intend to be doing it, God willing, and I feel like God is leading me to do this. I have actually already done this video and I think I started crying, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna post that, and then I just deleted it. Today I'm gonna be doing my testimony. I'm gonna be truly honest, I'm actually nervous and I'm quite fearful because there are areas of your life that sometimes people want to keep private, and I guess I'm being vulnerable here and I'm just being literally open and honest about my Christian walk and my Christian faith and about Jesus. So I guess I'm just here doing what God says. What a star. Got my box of tissues just in case. Oh, box of tissues down. My backup. Let's start from the beginning. I wasn't always a Christian. I was raised with the Christian mentality of the Christian morals and the Christian faith about Jesus since I was young. But my ideology was, if you're good, you're going to heaven. And that's all. As long as you're good and you don't, you know, interrupt people's lives and have a corruptive character and all sorts. That was my mentality. But that's not true. And I definitely got told that that wasn't true in a harsh way, but I needed to hear it in a harsh way because I was very... So I began my life with my mum until I was 12, and I had quite a few, not nightmares, you could call it, and they were just getting increasingly worse. So I remember she sent me to this club called Intergirls, which was every Tuesday. It was run by a Catholic woman. So this is where I think I started, you know, getting interested, and she was really lovely. But I told her, I don't know why her, because I pretty much was so shy. Like, I did not want to talk to anyone. But like, I told her and I was like, I just keep having these nightmares that people are going to get me, and like, they keep attacking me. And I remember she told me about Jesus, and she told me about, you know, use his name and they'll go away. And I'm gonna be honest, I did, because I was a scared kid, and they went away. And I never heard from them until I got older. So when I hit about 12, 13, the anxiety within me got a lot stronger. I would literally just faint or black out, and it probably did come from exhaustion and overworking and overwhelming myself with my thoughts, and everything was heightened at that time of my life, and I was just permanently anxious and frustrated. There was bits in that. I was definitely involved in that teenage let's experiment kind of vibe from like 15, and that idea of lust was there from about 15, 16. Around my secondary year period, I was introduced to lust and alcohol and anxiety. They were the three things that were like going back and forth. So by the time that it got to my college period, I'd already been aware of all those things, so, and I'd already harbored them. Harbored? You know the word. I predominantly knew the Islamic religion. I actually didn't know much of the Christian faith apart from that one lady. And before I even became Christian, I did research into a lot of religions because I wanted one that was true and the facts were there and there was science to back them up. I actually wanted like a multiple of sources before I gave my life. When I got to college, where I met my now husband, he was a Christian. And Christians, if you're watching this, you know what a Christian is. The kind of Christian that was like, yeah, I believe in God, I'm giving my life, da 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 da, and then their actions don't represent a Christian. You know what I'm saying? He was just kind of like, I believe in God. That's it. When I met him, I fell for him hard. We had a 2-year relationship and it broke down. And this is a part where it makes me really sad. Full composure. I got this, I got this. It was probably like the worst phase of my life emotionally. I've had rejection before, but when he did it, it was just something else. It felt like my whole heart sunk. In our relationship that we were unequally yoked, he realised, because he grew as a Christian. He grew with God and had a relationship with God, and I almost got envious of that relationship that he had with God. I was like, he's taking up my time, he's taking my man. Like, I actually grew envious of the relationship that they had because I didn't understand it, and I was frustrated and I almost hated it because I was like, he's prioritising something other than me. And it's a very selfish mentality, but that is just what I was thinking at that time. It tore us apart. Like, he would ask to pray with me, he would ask to do a study with me, and I didn't understand any of it, so it would just frustrate me because I just didn't get it. So he would be constantly making the effort to try and introduce me to Jesus, but I would constantly block him and be like, no, because it means I've got to sacrifice this, or no, it means I've got to get rid of this, or no, it's got too many rules, too many instructions, I can't keep it up. Luckily, God saved us from that, because that would have been a nightmare. But he was very adamant that he was choosing God's way, and he wanted to be celibate, and I didn't. We both went 2 separate pathways. I went down the sinful route, and he went down the godly route. I went through so many different emotions, like, towards God. Like, I was like, I just didn't understand if God loved him as much as I loved him. Why would God take him away from me? And I didn't understand that process, so I was kind of like seeking God, but angrily seeking God. I was like, well, if you're real, which I still believed, but I was like, I didn't realise God was active in people's lives, if that makes sense. Like, I believed there was a God and that God watched over us, but I didn't believe that God can work through people and in your life. I went to Hillsong a few times, and I didn't speak to anyone. I literally just went on my own to try and understand why he left me, because he said the main reason was he wanted to follow God and I didn't. And God did speak to me, but very, like, he spoke to me and I knew it was for me, but I was like a horse with the, what are they called? Blinkers. Horse with the blinkers on, that was me. I was like, going to church. No, I'm coming to see you, but I'm not really listening. It was kind of like that. Went from one bad choice to another bad choice. Going out a lot more, I was clubbing a lot more. I was wearing stuff that I wouldn't usually wear, doing stuff I usually wouldn't do. I was just a very flirtatious character. I was very like forward. I went out dating quite a few guys, and I tried getting drunk loads of times, and then I almost got into a relationship with someone else, but I had strong underlying feelings for Aaron, and it wouldn't be right of me to do that to someone else. The feelings that I had for Aaron never left, and they just grew stronger and stronger. I'm ashamed of the acts or the things that I was doing and how I was behaving, and I guess that's why I didn't want to post this video, is because it makes me feel a little bit like, why did I do that? Now that I know Jesus, because he's so pure and I was the complete opposite. I just was living in sin, and there's no other explanation. I don't know, I just was chaotic. Here comes the good part. 6 months later, I met Aaron. I asked for my iPad back. I saw him, I had them same feelings, and I was so annoyed. I was like, oh, I still love of him, talking to him in McDonald's. All of a sudden I feel this guilt and this shame of, how am I going to tell him what I've been up to? Because I still want to be with him, but I've committed a lot of sin in God's eyes. And I just burst out crying, and I was just like confessing everything that I did. And he was just like so comforting, and he didn't judge me at that time. Just like crying even more because then it makes you feel worse. And then basically I started going to church from there on. I messaged a guy. I was really apologetic and I was like, I'm really sorry. When I got to the church, everyone was so happy, you know. Everyone was like, yeah! And I was like, That was how I described my experience at first. And I was just kind of like, they had this joy and this peace. And it just wound me up because I was like, no one's this happy. No one. And they are. They genuinely are. I'm still there 2 years later and they're still the same. As I gradually started going back to church, the understanding was different. Like, I was trying to learn this time, and I was trying to seek God, but not with the wrong heart this time. It was more of a, okay, I know you're there, and I know that you've changed Aaron and his life because he's a complete different man. And I knew that God was like in him because I saw the change. I believed his testimony. I just kept going back every week, and then I made the decision to get baptised. God has been working through my life, and I see that, like how he's blessed me with my parents and where I live and the food in my stomach. He kept me alive. I'm so grateful that there's been so many times where I haven't wanted to be here and exist, and I think he just gave me that feeling of love that no one else can give you, and he won't reject you and he won't leave you, and he'll put the people that you need in your life, and he'll get rid of the people that shouldn't be in your life. And I think it's like, it's that stability that you as a child you look for, and as you get older you look for that comfort. And I was seeking it in all the wrong ways, in materialistic things and technology, and just filling my head with loads of other stuff that wasn't important, that I think oh no, he's replaced my nightmares with dreams, godly dreams. Just so good, and he's just so good, and there's no other experience that you can have with anyone that you can have with God. Nothing that's anywhere as pure, as good, as holy, as righteous, as loving, as caring, as kind, as generous. There is no one in this earth that can give you what God can give you and stop what God can stop. No one has that control but him, and he deserves the glory, he deserves the praise, because he transformed my way of thinking, he's transformed my heart, he's transformed my life. And I just hope that if you've been watching this video and you hear God calling to you, and you hear God's voice saying, just choose me, just choose him, you will overcome addictions, you will overcome the depression and the anxiety in your heart. He can take anything, but you just have to have faith and just knock on that door and he will open. Just hope you enjoyed this testimony. Thanks guys for watching.